Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Do you want to discover the secret to a life without financial worries? The cash flow quadrants are the key to unlocking the door to financial independence. Start now the journey that will change the way you think about money. You're ready? If so, you're not the only one harboring these desires. However, for many, these remain just castles in the air. But not for Robert Kiyosaki, the man who transformed his aspirations into a glittering reality of success and freedom. Growing up in the shadow of a parent suffocated by debt and financial failure, Kiyosaki vowed to never fall into that trap. And from that moment on, he began to build his financial empire, piece by piece. In this video book, we will take you through the foundational lessons that shaped Kiyosaki's life, a life enriched by decades of wise investments and resourcefulness. These will not be specific advice, but universal principles that have guided his path to success. And who knows? Perhaps they can also be the key to your path to financial freedom. We'll reveal the mysteries of the 4 categories of cash flow, the importance of the information age for the future of work and pensions, and how fear can distort our perception of money. Do a simple exercise with us. Take a sheet of paper and draw a plus sign in the center. What you see are 4 spaces, each representing a quadrant of gain: E, S, B, I, employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Each of these quadrants contains a different way of approaching the world of work and investment. This video book is a summary of the original work. You can find the complete book published by the author in the original language at the link in the description of this video. Before continuing with the viewing, we ask you to support us by subscribing to the channel and activating the bell. Stay with us until the end of the video and let us know what you think. Thank you. Everyone's life can pass through one or more of these quadrants. Think of a doctor who can choose to be an employee, a freelancer, a large entrepreneur, or an investor. Each choice brings with it different challenges and opportunities, but there is no path that is better than the others. It all depends on what you're looking for in your life. But if your desire is to free yourself from the shackles of daily work, then you will need to orient yourself towards the B and I quadrants, moving from simply working for to owning and investing. Robert Kiyosaki, with his story of growing up between a poor father and a rich father, teaches us that true financial freedom is not achieved with the sweat of one's brow, but with the wisdom of enlightened financial choices. While his poor father remained trapped in a cycle of endless work and financial dissatisfaction, his rich father patiently and cunningly built an empire that guaranteed him not only prosperity, but also time to devote to what he loved. This video book is an invitation to reflect on your choices and your quadrants. It's an invitation to take the helm of your financial life, drawing inspiration from the story of those who dared to dream and turned those dreams into reality. And you, which quadrant are you in today and where do you want to be tomorrow? The answer could be the first step towards your financial freedom. Work hard or work smart? This is the question that marked the beginning of a turning point in Robert Kiyosaki's life during one of his visits to the house of Mike, his rich dad. That day, Kiyosaki got his first taste of financial education thanks to a simple but deeply enlightening story told by his mentor. The story of Ed and Bill, 2 men tasked with providing water to a village lacking this essential resource, perfectly embodies the dichotomy between working hard and working smart. Ed, armed with goodwill and steel buckets, labored daily in an exhausting labor to supply the village, earning just enough to live on. Bill, on the other hand, took an apparently slower but incredibly more shrewd path. He exploited the power of investments and strategic planning to build a pipeline that not only solved the village's problem more efficiently, but also guaranteed him a passive source of income and long-lasting. The moral of the story is not so much highlighting laziness or industry, but rather illustrating the power of long-term vision and strategic intelligence in achieving financial freedom. While Ed represents those who remain trapped in quadrants E and S, working incessantly without ever really moving forward, Bill symbolizes those who aspire to quadrants B and I, where success is not measured by hours worked, but by the effectiveness of the strategies adopted. This story marks a turning point in the thinking of those who listen, inviting us to reflect on our approach to work and the creation of wealth. Working hard is undoubtedly a virtue, but working smart is the art that transforms today's sweat into tomorrow's golden fruits. While Ed and Bill's story ends with two very different fates, it leaves us with a fundamental question. Do we want to spend our lives hauling buckets, or do we want to build pipelines that will ensure not only our prosperity, but that of future generations? The choice is ours. And this video book is the first step towards discovering how to make the right choice, the one that leads to financial freedom. In a world that moves at the speed of light, where the information age has definitively archived the industrial one, we find ourselves facing a reality in which job and pension security seems like a distant memory. This epochal change, which began in 1991, has brought with it a revolution in our lives, pushing us towards an interconnected and digitalized global economy. In the face of this transformation, the message is clear and inescapable. Relying on government for our financial security is an illusion. The truth is that, despite legitimate expectations of government support, fueled by years of contributions and promises, we find ourselves in an era in which the financial burden becomes unsustainable for state coffers. This reality requires us to look beyond convention, to reinvent our approach to personal financial security. In this scenario, Robert Kiyosaki's personal story becomes emblematic. On the one hand, his poor father, a government official who, despite his hard work and expectations, found himself disillusioned and financially unstable due to political vicissitudes and lack of experience in the fields of entrepreneurship and investment. On the other, his rich father, who, anticipating the changes of the information age, built solid and lasting financial independence through the creation of passive income streams. These two figures represent the divergent paths we can take, clinging to an outdated idea of financial security or actively navigating towards the B and I quadrants, where being a large business owner or investor offers not only the possibility of prosperity, but also that of authentic financial freedom. In a world where the certainties of the past are wavering, the lesson is that we must be the protagonists of our own economic security, exploring avenues that we may have never considered, but which today, more than ever, represent the key to a financially secure and independent future. Let us therefore not be intimidated by the uncertainty of modern times. Rather, let's see it as an opportunity to reinvent our financial path. Kiyosaki's story teaches us that with the right mindset and strategies, we can successfully navigate the information age, turning challenges into opportunities to build a life of prosperity and financial security. This video book is an invitation to take your economic destiny into your own hands, to consciously move towards the quadrants that offer the best chances of success in today's global context. Listening to his rich dad gave Kiyosaki deep insight into the human diversity that populates the 4 quadrants of cash flow. The revelation? Each quadrant not only requires different skills, but seems to attract distinctly different personalities, each with its own unique relationship to work and money. Employees, inhabitants of Quadrant E, are those who seek security and stability above all else. For them, the predictability of a paycheck and job-related benefits represent a beacon of security in a financially uncertain world. Driven by the fear of risk and financial failure, they find comfort in certainty, regardless of their position within an organization. On the other hand, in Quadrant S, we find self-employed workers and small entrepreneurs, the loners of the world of work who prefer independence and autonomy. For them, the value of work is directly proportional to the effort invested. This category has a strong aversion to the idea of letting others decide on their income. However, here too, fear plays a key role. The fear of losing one's independence is the engine that pushes these people to surpass themselves, even at the cost of never delegating. Quadrant B, on the other hand, welcomes great entrepreneurs, those who have understood that true power lies in the ability to delegate. These individuals build systems that work thanks to the skills of selected teams, allowing them to detach themselves from day-to-day operations without impacting revenue generation. The figure of Henry Ford emerges as exemplary in this context. Not the brightest in every field, but indisputably the best at surrounding himself with those who were. Finally, Quadrant I includes investors, those for whom risk is not only acceptable, but becomes a stimulating element. Unlike gamblers who rely on luck, investors seek and calculate risks, turning volatility into an opportunity. People like Warren Buffett demonstrate that understanding risks can transform even the most turbulent markets into a source of wealth and financial freedom. The lesson that emerges from this overview of the 4 quadrants is as simple as it is profound. Our personality, our fears, and our aspirations not only influence our professional path, but also define our position in the financial world. Recognizing and embracing these differences can be the first step towards a life of satisfaction and success, regardless of which quadrant we find ourselves in or wish to move towards. This video book invites us to reflect on ourselves and our relationship with work and money, offering us the key to consciously navigate towards financial freedom. Navigating the vast ocean of investments can seem like a dangerous journey, especially when you don't know the territory well. It's a bit like venturing into shark-infested waters without knowing how to swim. However, with the right preparation and knowledge, even the most hesitant of beginners can transform themselves into a confident navigator of this financial sea. But what distinguishes a novice from an investment master like Warren Buffett? The answer lies in understanding the different classes of investors that populate the financial world. Let's start from the basic level, what we could define as zero financial intelligence. Here we find those who, although they may appear wealthy, are actually far from being investors because their lifestyle leads them to spend more than they earn, leaving them without resources to invest. Before they can think about investing, these people need to learn how to manage their personal finances. Then there are the savers losers, those who believe that putting money aside is enough to guarantee future financial security. In an era of almost zero interest, this strategy turns out to be not very productive and, as demonstrated by the 2008 financial crisis, even risky if savings are invested in instruments that are not adequately safe. The third rung is occupied by "I'm too busy" investors, individuals who delegate their financial choices to advisors without directly engaging in learning and managing their investments. This carelessness can lead to significant losses, as many have experienced during the financial turmoil. Moving forward, we meet the "I am a professional investor," the very first step towards being actively involved in your investments. These individuals dedicate time to learning and understanding financial instruments, becoming masters of their investments through research and ongoing education. It's a path we should all aspire to walk, given the crucial importance of financial education in our time. At the apex of the pyramid, we find the capitalist level, the kingdom of investors like Warren Buffett. These individuals have not only built successful businesses, but used the accumulated capital to venture into high-risk investments, seeking the path to great riches. This path, the most arduous and complex, is reserved for those who not only wish to invest, but also create and manage successful businesses. For those who do not see their path in building an entrepreneurial empire, aspiring to become an "I am a professional investor" represents an ambitious but accessible goal, a way to guarantee a solid financial education and, with it, greater security and economic freedom. This journey through investor classes invites us to reflect on our current position and future aspirations, prompting us to ask ourselves, what type of investor do we want to become? The answer to this question could be the key to unlocking the door to our financial freedom. Before we dive into the last part of this video book, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. If this video has inspired you or given you food for thought, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you. Our relationship with money is often more emotional than we would like to admit. Fear, anxiety, elation, all emotions that can cloud our judgment and lead us to make less than optimal financial decisions. However, recognizing and overcoming these irrational feelings is crucial to our economic success. We think about money and immediately find ourselves immersed in a sea of emotions, sometimes positive, often negative. The fear of losing, the greed to earn more, the fear of making a false step that could cost us dearly. These feelings, if not managed, can become insurmountable barriers that prevent us from acting logically and productively. Take, for example, the story of Kiyosaki and his experience in the Air Force, where he learned that even the deepest phobias, such as that of snakes, can be compared to our financial fears. The latter, just like the irrational terror one of his classmates felt when faced with a snake, can paralyze us, preventing us from making rational choices when it comes to investing and money management. Yet, if we can put these fears aside, look at money and investments with new eyes, we will discover that the rules of the game are simpler than we fear. Investing doesn't have to be a leap into the dark filled with unfathomable risks. Instead, it can be a logical and even fun process, similar to a game of Monopoly, where the goal is to acquire as many profitable houses as possible, whether real estate or stocks. Kiyosaki himself, through his personal life and investment experiences, teaches us that it is possible to overcome financial adversity by maintaining a clear and rational vision of our goals. Even in moments of greatest difficulty, such as when he found himself homeless, his determination and ability to look beyond the present moment allowed him to build a financial empire. The message we must take away is clear. Money, despite being a source of stress and worry, must not become our master. Learning to manage our financial emotions, recognizing our fears and facing them with logic and preparation is the first step towards a life of success and financial freedom. Let us not allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by irrational emotions. Instead, let us learn to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of the economy with wisdom and determination. This is the key to turning our financial dreams into reality. In the rush to financial freedom, it's easy to be seduced by the idea of getting rich quick. However, history and experience teach that the path to true economic success is one of patience, dedication, and a long-term vision. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one small step. This ancient Chinese saying finds a perfect application on the path to financial freedom. In a world that prizes instant gratification, it's crucial to resist the temptation to look for shortcuts to getting rich. The reality is that most people who have built lasting fortunes have done so through a methodical, step-by-step approach. To achieve financial success, it is essential to take small steps and always keep the long-term goal in mind. Get-rich-quick strategies may seem tempting, but often the only person who benefits is the person who offers them. Instead, through compound investments and constant financial education, it is possible to build solid and lasting economic security. Our era, characterized by job instability and economic volatility, requires greater awareness of financial opportunities and risks. Even if you can count on gainful employment today, there is no guarantee that this situation will persist over time. The key to long-term financial security lies, therefore, in the ability to diversify sources of income, favoring investments capable of generating constant earnings over time. Compound investing, or the art of making earnings bear fruit over time by reinvesting them, was defined by Albert Einstein as the eighth wonder of the world due to its power to multiply wealth exponentially. This principle, applied with wisdom and patience, can become the engine of sustained and sustainable financial growth. But let's not forget another crucial investment, that in our financial education. Knowing the market mechanisms, the dynamics of real estate or stock investments will not only protect us from rash decisions, but will open the door to previously unexplored earning opportunities. In summary, financial freedom is not the result of a stroke of luck, but the fruit of thoughtful choices, constant commitment, and a vision that looks to the future with optimism and realism. Starting today, even with small steps, is the best advice for anyone who aspires to build a more secure and prosperous tomorrow. Well, we have finished with this video. See you next time from Audiobooks to listen to.